All right, we're going to learn a different way of finding, this is only for 2 by 2 matrices, and this is easier than the way using elimination that we did earlier. So if I look at a matrix, I'm going to say the inverse is equal to 1 over AD minus BC times, this is scalar multiplication, so I'm changing it up. So notice it's D times negative B, D and negative B and negative C and A. So we're looking at a matrix being A, B, C, D with the rows and columns. But now, if I was to use this, I'm going to take 1 over, well, A times D is going to be 8. Minus, and this is going to be 8. So I guess that's why this is saying if it's possible. And then I'm just switching these two right here, the 2 and the 4. So I'm going to put the 4 here and the 2 here, and I'm switching the signs of the B and the C. So it will be a positive 4 and a positive 2. Now, unfortunately, we get 1 over 0, and we know that anything with a 0 in the denominator cannot work, so it looks like this one will have no solution. So let's look back at what we did the other day, and let's try it this way for this inverse right here. Because that one had no solution, that didn't really help me out in teaching this. So we want 1 over AD minus BC, and remember this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and we're going to scalar multiply that with D, negative B, negative C, A. So this is a lot easier. We have 1 times 3 is my AD, negative 1 times negative 2 is my 2, and we're multiplying that by 3 and 1. I will switch them, 2 and 1. And notice this is just 1 times this. So we get 3, 2, 1, 1 as the answer. All right, we're going to look at one more because none of these are really being helpful in finding the inverse because that one was just 1. So let's find a funnier answer, and we'll work with this. Let's say A is equal to 3, negative 1, negative 2, 2. The inverse, we're going to take 1 over 6 minus 2, so that's 1/4. And I'm going to use scalar multiplication. I'm going to switch the 2 and the 3. And I'm going to switch the signs of the 1, negative 1 and negative 2. So 1/4 of 2 is 1/2. 1/4 times 1 is 1/4. 1/4 of 2 is 1/2. 1/4 of 3 is 3/4. So this right here that I'm circling in yellow is the answer to the inverse of A.